While Oath of Tell is a powerful deck, it is also a very vulnerable one. I think we can exploit a heavy Oath metagame with 4 dress down PO. I know, maybe I'm coping, but I really think this is the week. Welcome back, Vintage Gamers. Saturday challenge following the BCD Oath victory. There were also extreme performances from Oath across the board on Magic Online between the RCQ and the Mana Traders and the 2 challenges. So I'm highly expecting the most played deck in today's event will be Oath. And the best counters to the current Oath build are Doomsday, Beseech, and True Combo. And so I'm going to make a guess and say that my PO list from a couple weeks ago was just a couple weeks early, because I think there's a lot to be said about playing 4 dress down into the Show and Tell Atraxa Oath deck. That deck banks pretty heavily on the cards drawn from the Atraxa trigger, and while the Atraxa will, of course, kill me eventually, the cards drawn are the much more important part. So what I put together today is just another take on the 4 dress down kind of hyper-focused PO list. This time we're going to eschew white, though of course white can make your Oath matchup even better with things like Containment Priest and Prismatic Ending. I have decided to add things like Thoughtseize as additional hate for Oath. I'm going to try playing a Grim Monolith and a Karn this time, just to get a little artifact count higher and hopefully facilitate these Lorien reveals that I'm going to try at 2 of. So I've been trying tons of different combinations of Lorien and Saga and Oath. I had a nice 4-1 league with 4 Lorien, 4 Saga. I've tried 0 Lorien, 1 Lorien, 4 Lorien. I really don't have an answer. I'm not 100% sure on the best number of Loriens in this deck. It's kind of a little bit redundant with Paradoxical Outcome because they do have kind of... The card draw aspect of it is similar, and the fact that both of them are hard to cast if you don't have Moxen is still true. So I am going to play a Tendrils this time just to try to make the comboing aspect a little easier, because I don't have a Monastery Mentor, I don't have Time Vault Key, and I don't have Snapcaster Mage as well. So I've cut a lot of the core aspects of my Esper PO list, so I decided to play Karn and Tendrils in addition to the classic Citadel Yogg-Will Citadel kill. It's possible this Tendrils is unnecessary, but I think it's nice when you start trimming down on things like Mentor to give you a little bit back. The 4-1 list played Vault Key because it had Saga, and it did not play Tendrils, but it did play Karn. So I just don't like Vault Key if you're not playing Saga, and I don't like Saga right now. So I decided not to play any of those options, basically. I don't think Vault Key is bad by any means, especially right now when there are maybe a lower number of Force of Vigors than normal. However, of course, the Oath deck does play Force of Vigor and Oko. So there's that. But there's like less Bazaar running around. I don't think there's anything wrong with playing Vault Key. I just don't like to play Saga in my PO list. I don't feel like it adds to your game plan, and it usually actually detracts from your ability to play the game with people, having additional ways to interact with your mana base. Doesn't typically tap for blue, that kind of thing. Doesn't play well with Dress Down, which I'm going to try playing as a 4 of today. So I just chose not to play Sagas and Vault Key. Anything else in this list that's interesting? In the sideboard, I have a Strip Mine. I feel like it's pretty reasonable to keep having Strip Mine when you have the Demonic Tutor, Vampiric Tutor. The rest of this is pretty straightforward. I think Portal to Phyrexia is really strong. Just ordered one in paper. I think it's too strong to pass up. And then I'm going to try playing a Plague Engineer in my sideboard, naming Orc. Bring it in against Blue-Black Luris as a way to keep Bowmasters off the table. Obviously, Dress Down is pretty good against Bowmaster. But I just wanted to try this out today as a little tech piece. I'm not sure if it's actually worth it, but if, people are playing a lot of Luris Saga, having an additional way to, Construct tokens are going to be answered pretty easily with Dress Down, especially because Dress Down isn't Fluster Stormable. But it'd be nice to have extra ways to deal with Bowmaster. So I'm going to play 11 lands today with 2 Lorien. You can play 11 lands without any Lorien in PO. It's just kind of weak against possible sphere resistances. I typically play 13 non-Saga lands in PO. that's way more than you need because I just want to play around like Wasteland and stuff like that. But with 3 islands and 2 Lorians, we're gonna try playing 11 lands. And I think that's it. I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to play a pretty normal but a little bit more pointed PO list today and see how it goes. Are you interested in weekly vintage metagame recommendations? Do you want to see your deck list played on my channel? Or maybe you are just looking for the best way to support my vintage content. Make sure you check out the Patreon link in the description below. Let's battle. Okay, here we are, round 1, Vintage Challenge. Opponent has revealed Luris, which means we might have to deal with Bowmaster.deck. This hand is a nice one against such a thing. Basic Island. Oh, wait. That's exciting. So I'm going to assume this is the Shere Khan Turbo Volt Key deck, which is a really rough matchup. This one's tough. This is not a very commonly played deck. This is basically only played by Sprouts and Shere Khan, who are both two of the more powerful magicians on the platform. So you actually, if you look at this deck in the data, it has a very high win rate, but it's kind of fake data because if your only 2 players in the whole of Magic Online are 2 of the better players on Magic Online, then definitely changes things, right? Yeah, so my opponent had like a really strong start, multiple Moxen, Seed of the Synod. I don't really have like ways in my deck to punish Seed of the Synod. Seed of the Synod, like Urza Saga, is a highly exploitable land, even more so than Urza Saga because it gets turned off by Null Rod and Collector Roof. I kept a hand that was really like a little bit slow, and that was entirely because I kind of expected my opponent to be on Jeskai or Blue-Black. And then here having them be on a very heavy combo deck, even more heavy combo deck than my combo deck, is really bad for us. Like I would put my chances of winning this particular game below 30%. Opponent still has 4 cards in hand, and they have an extreme mana advantage. They have the ability to go buy Luris, replay Lotus, or just start looping Baubles. Like, it's really bad. Yeah, like any deck that has a Glimmer Void is going to. Oh my god. Okay, so there's Lavinia's now too. Yeah, it's bad. It's quite bad. I don't even know how to proceed from here. Like, I'd like to go like Vamp Tinker and just like hope and pray my opponent has drawn 0 pieces of counter magic. But even that I can't do unless I draw a Moxen off of a dress down, and then I can Vamp in Upkeep, play Moxen, land, Tinker. It might just be what we have to do, considering how far behind we are in this game. This is like a very classic example of why decks like 8-Cast and this opponent's deck were played. They definitely prey on less intensive combo decks. Like, just the sheer velocity of what this deck is doing with Thoughtcast is just so much better than what I'm doing in terms of comboing. So my opponent has 2 cards in hand. They chose not to do any kind of Luris loops this turn. They have access to a graveyard blow up here. I am going to do the play I said I was going to make. I don't know. I should probably look at the last Shere Khan list, which got second in the last challenge. So I guess that's why somebody else has picked up the deck. So this deck is 2 Goblin Engineer, 2 Lavinia, 1 Haywire Might, 2 Spell Pierce, 2 PO, 3 Thoughtcast, 4 Force of Will, 2 Negation. Yeah, this is gonna be a nightmare. Yo, what's up, Frodo? Hope you're doing well. It's actually moved Tinker to the board. That's interesting. So this is my opponent's list while we wait for them to come back. So basically, this list is played by, like I said, by Shere Khan and Sprouts. But someone saw that they top aided. Shurikhan top aided the last event. So how have we moved up to 2 Glimmervoid? 3 seat. The numbers are getting weirder and weirder in this deck every time I look. 1 bobble? And they hit it? Sad days. Very odd list. But Shurikhan is a master, so. Well, Citadel is still the #1 Tinker target. It's just you usually have a Sphinx so that you can bring it in against Bazaar. Some lists will play both in the main. Very seldom do you see a list play no Citadel and Sphinx in the main. My opponent shouldn't have any Wastelands, so I can just get an Underground Sea. Like I said, I think I'm just gonna... Oh, there's a Lavinia. I can't even cast it dress down. That's hilarious. Okay. In that case, what do we want to do? Do we want to just brainstorm? Kind of just got rid of my fetch land for brainstorm. Do I want to just repeal a Soul Ring? Maybe it'll buy me more time. Hey, I can't cast a dress down. So I guess we're going to go for the next turn. No, I think Portal to Phyrexia is extremely important right now, especially against Init. I have one in my sideboard as well. You can even bring it in against like blue-black Luris. I mean, I could just go Brainstorm, Vamp, Ancestral, right? I think that's probably fine. I need to get... I can't even, like, get forces to resolve things because there is a Lavinia. The good news is my opponent won't have a Hold Reacher here or a Bowmaster or anything, so I can just calmly cast this Brainstorm. We are super in trouble here. Maybe, like, doing this whole Vamp and Shuffle thing is, like, bad because we kind of want to find a Tinker, but we found the Ancestral on our own. Noted. Okay. So, if I put back PO, Island, draw Island, I kind of don't even want to Vamp anymore. I just don't know how I'm progressing in this game. Like, my opponent's eventually going to go Luris, replay Baubles, and loop on me. But I guess I can play an Ancestral that goes through Spell Pierce on their turn, end step, and then Dress Down. Feels like the best route forward. I still have the ability to Vamp for Tinker. I can't probe unless I pay mana because of Lavinia. If I had found a fetch land with that Brainstorm, I think I'd be a lot happier. Because I'm still going to have to draw all the cards I put back on Brainstorm. Unless I Vamp, which I'm not going to Vamp now because I think it's more important to have the end of turn 3 mana, which will let me Ancestral target myself. They can't Spell Pierce it. And then I can play a Dress Down. If they want to counter the Dress Down, so be it. At some point, maybe I'll have the ability to repeal this. Again, all they need to draw is like a Goblin Engineer or a PO or a Thoughtcast or like any card really. I just pretty much lose on the spot. But not much I can do about that. Playing a PO deck, you know, pointed at a certain metagame and then having your first matchup just be an incredibly bad off-meta matchup is so on brand for me. Like, I usually, whenever this happens, I'll play against, like, some kind of 4x Pyroblast deck or something. I think the really cool part about Vintage right now is all the decks that are played and are seeing play and are the best decks are all extremely beatable. It's just, like, you need to respect them and put the cards in to beat them. There's no, like, stand away, you know, far and away best deck in the format that doesn't have answers to it. Everything has answers. Saga, not a huge deal. I'm pretty happy with them drawing Saga over, like, anything else. So here will be Luris off of Lotus. Flash is bugged. Oh. Interesting. I have not heard of that bug. Interesting. Was it this patch? That's a really, it's a really big bug. We'll have to test it. We can test it after this round. All right. I mean, I could like dress down in response here, but I need my dress down. So I assume my opponent is just going to, if they have a force in their hand, they'll replay this Lotus. If they have, okay, so they have a force in their hand. It's a very big tell that my opponent's not looping a bobble here. It almost entirely means they have a force. So maybe I can get them to force this Ancestral Recall and then jam a dress down, vamp for a Tinker, and win. They didn't attack with Lavinia, maybe playing around Snapcaster Mage, or maybe just missing it. All right, I'm going to cast Ancestral Recall and see what my opponent does. I'm really hoping Hardcast Force. No. So now something I can do is wait so I have Flusterstorm for dress down. No, I have this repeal, so I think it's fine to just dress down. If they want to counter it, they can counter it. I have 4 dress downs in my deck as well. Really having a significant, classic PO issue here of just only drawing 1 Moxen. But I guess it's actually good because there's a Lavinia. I can't play any more Moxen, so maybe it's fine. I think my opponent almost, it's close to like 99% they have Force of Will in their hand, because that's the only, or Negation, I should say, because the only reason they would play a Lotus here over looping a Bauble. All right, the dress down has resolved, and I drew a Force of my own. I think this is going to be a win. All right, so here is Upkeep Vamp, Tinker. Should I probe first in case I can draw another Moxen for Fluster? Oh, they just have Vamp Balance? Well, another problem here is I don't have extra plays. It's like if I brick on my Citadel, it's bad. But I think I don't have choices here. I wonder if I could have played this better. What if I had vamped for like Mana Crypt instead and gone for PO? Doesn't look better. I mean, they're just going to vamp for Vault Key and kill me next turn, right? So this Tinker has to win. Because they just vamp for Vault Key. Even if I counter Vault Key, they replay with Luris. All right, so, I mean, the fact that we have a chance to win this game is pretty nice. I have to remember they have a Spell Bomb for Yogg-Will too. Is there any reason not to play Academy as my land? I can't play a second land anyways. Okay. All right, well, tinker this Ruby. Come on, top of my deck. I need help. I need help. Time Walk. Mystical. I guess my opponent could technically vamp for a Spell Pierce. Draw the Spell Pierce off of Nile Spell Bomb. In which case I have to use Force, but that would be so good for me. If my opponent does that, I'd be so happy, right? Nice. Now I don't have to worry about getting Vault Keyed. I don't think this is like a bad play from my opponent, to be honest, because I am tapped out. If I didn't draw Force of Will for turn, then this wouldn't work. If they have a Flusterstorm in their deck and say they change the list, then it's even better. I like that play a lot if that's the case. Oh, maybe a reason, yeah. So I assume they're going to cycle the Spell Bomb and draw a negation or a Spell Pierce. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to force pitching Fluster. All right, so this is great. So now I'm not dying on board, and I'm getting a 14 life Citadel with no land drop to give. Scroll. Okay. Oh, I need that Sapphire. Um, do I even want to pick up Mystical Tutor or Force? Like are those even doing anything for me? Like I want Mystical Tutor, but the chance that I get a blue mana source before I like hit it off the top is like super low, right? So I should probably just take off dead draws from the top of my deck, like Force. It didn't shuffle at all and left the Sapphire on top, maybe. All right, Sapphire. All right, that's a brick, but I have access to repeal. I wish I could repeal like my dress down and go again. No, I'm just gonna keep going. All right, this is good. That actually opens up PO. And if I can hit a Black Lotus, we tendrils and win. Can't pick up this dress down. I mean, I could pick up this dress down. So if I pick up this dress down, I actually still have blue floating, so I can just replay it, and I have 3 lands, right? Let me just double check that one. I have a dress down. This is a Lavinia. It'll let me cast it if I have 3 lands. Yeah, all right. Okay. So I can shuffle with this Lorien with colorless. That's better than using my blue mana. Okay. Let's do PO. This time I won't pick up my dress down because I won't have the floating mana. All right, hit it. Wow. I don't really feel like I was supposed to win this game, but I'll take it. That's a good way to start a video. Thanks for the resub. Okay, so my opponent is on this deck. They're going to be bringing in a Pyroblast, Flusterstorm, double Mindbreak Trap. How can this matchup be any worse? It's so bad. I don't really have anything for this matchup, right? I have a Needle. Needle is usually quite good here. I have a Soul Guide Lantern, which I think I'll take. And then I don't want to play Dismember for Lavinia Luris Goblin Engineer. So I think it's just bring in a Needle and a Lantern. I don't think a Hercules does anything. I don't think I'm allowed to cut any lands this time. I think now I have to just keep this mana base. Karn is absolutely great in this matchup, which is nice. Oh no, we hit 65 players for the additional round. Well, this is nothing like the last PO list I tried because this list has no Urza Saga in it. So I think I want all the dress downs here. Maybe it's just mystical. Maybe I think everything looks good. So I guess it's just mystical. I take out Hercules Mystical, bring in Needle Lantern. Seems fine. I'm really sad that if that's true. Is that the case? 65 players? Oh, 65 players is the worst. There's no... And we got the 0-1 dropper. What if we just didn't have to play? That's only if I make it that far. This hand has extreme fast mana into Lorien Reveal. Very nice. Definitely a keep. I used a little bit too much time in that game, so I'm going to have to play a little bit faster here. Seed of the Cyanod. Soul Ring. Hey, that's the same hand as last time. Come on now. Hannibal. Opal. Jeez. Okay. Who's the PO deck now? It's a good draw. So if I go Lotus, Academy, Soul Ring, Lorien. What is this? Spell Pierce? I guess that's fine. Because I just go fetch land, soldering, sensei stop. Yeah. That's okay. If I didn't have this fetch land, it would be bad, right? But pretty similar starts, but I have Lorien revealed coming up and Force, so my opponent only has 2 cards. Force PO plus a land. Yeah. Take those. This looks good. Yeah, I mean, I'm still gonna make my like best scenario sequencing, right? Vamp. Vamp is fine. Assume this gets PO, right? Oh, it just gets Ancestral? Isn't Ancestral worse than getting PO here? Like, what if I had Mental Misstep or something? I don't like that. I would tutor for PO here. Draws same amount of cards, but gets a bunch of mana. I guess maybe you don't even have to tap Mana Vault if you don't want to, right? Oh, no, you do have to tap Mana Vault. Maybe that's a reason. So maybe I should have spun a PO to the top instead. PO gets better when I draw more cards. This Lorien Revealed looks good. Maybe I'm just completely wrong about Lorien Revealed in PO. But I guess I did have a Tolarian Academy draw. Every Tolarian Academy draw makes Lorien Revealed look good, right? Blue-white Lavinia. All right. Should I try to draw a random blue card so that I can force pitching a random blue card instead? I think so. I think I'd like to have all of these POs. Okay. Don't really want this Lavinia resolving. Like, I can play through it, but I don't really want to play through it for what it's worth. So if they have Mindbreak Trap here, that's where I get punished for going all in, but I don't care. Cool. All right, Soul Ring, Monolith, Opal. Thoughtseize your last card. It's nothing. They don't have enough mana to play Luris yet. I guess I could have brainstormed instead of doing that. That would have probably been better. Because I could hit PO or something. That was not a great play on my part here. It was just a little too quick. There's no reason to do that. I think I'm okay with fetching those away too. I'm playing a little quickly here. I probably shouldn't be, but it's okay. I should have played that a little slower. There was no reason to be as aggressive with my line there. They top decked Thoughtcast. Well, that's among your best top decks. There's a lot of dead draws in this deck, though, so we'll see what happens here. They just put Luris in hand. Demonic Tutor? Uh-oh. So they can Demonic for Lotus and go buy Luris, Lotus, replay Luris, replay Lotus, and then they have replay Lavinia coming soon. Maybe I really screwed this game up. Wow. I mean, I have infinite mana next turn with Dress Down Repeal. I should win the game if I make it to the next turn. But opponent going top deck Thoughtcast into Demonic is good here with the amount of mana they had. Yeah, I don't know why. I just should have played this slightly differently. I guess I'm feeling like a little time crunch from game 1. I should slow down. I still feel pretty confident with Repeal, Dress Down, and a Sensei Stop and play, but if I don't get a turn, then it doesn't really matter, right? Buy Luris here. Yeah. You have a Lotus? Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think this is fine. My opponent plays Lotus, Luris, and then doesn't have the mana to replay Lavinia, so they just replay Lotus, and they have 1 card left. I think that's fine. I can repeal Luris, Dress Down Luris, whatever. I'm down to just blind draw and then spin. Probe. All right, I'll just probe first. Sees deeper. So they do have a mind break trap. God damn it. I guess I can just PO on their turn if I well, then they'll just hard cast. All right, so let's spin. I just need to find 2 pieces of action, right? Probe into Mind Break Trap, not ideal. Okay, Flusterstorm should be good enough. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put a Flusterstorm on top, float a bunch of mana, activate top, and repeal my top. And then I'm just going to replay everything and go for a PO. If I hadn't Thoughtseize, they would have had recast Lavinia. Oh, small victories. All right, so they Mind Break Trap me. I Flusterstorm it. And then we're off to the races. Kind of a nice probe, actually. I mean, I don't think the Thoughtseize play was bad. I'm just saying that I rushed it and didn't think about it enough. Time Walk, Narset, mana? Yeah, that should be good. Land. Soul Ring. Opal. I'm not even saying that this is like correct sequencing. I just know that I have deterministic kill on the next turn here, so I'm just gonna untap Yogwill and kill my opponent. I know they have no cards in hand. I have a Yogwill with a Lotus and a Tendrils, and it's just super dead for them. I could have done this after. Like I said, I don't really need to be precise here. Everything is going to win the game. Sweet. Big wins. It's a great start. Getting a nice round 1 win against what I would say is a pretty unfavorable matchup is big W. Okay, round 2. Yep. Keep. Go for the turn 2 Tinker with Fluster back up. So I'm just gonna go Mana Crypt, Tolarian Academy, Soul Ring Opal. Protecting everything. So I won't have to play my land drop. If they do end up wastelanding me, I can still play my land drop and Tinker. And that'll sequence the best around. I guess the best sequence is Mox Opal, Tolarian Academy, Mana Crypt, Soul Ring. Just trying to think about like sequencing around possible Force of Vigor. No. I think that's still fine. It's like impossible for them to oof and wasteland me, right? If they oof me, I want to have my Academy in play. I just don't think, because I want to have my Academy in play when I go for Tinker without playing my land drop. I guess I can still do that with an Underground Sea. But like, if I can play my Tinker off of my Moxen and have the ability to make Tolarian Academy mana after I Tinker, it's still better, right? And if like getting my Tolarian Academy wastelanded prevented me from making Tinker plus Flusterstorm, then I definitely wouldn't play it. But I think it's okay here. They're F6, which can be a good or a bad sign if my opponent plays too much like sphere resistance, Archon style effects. Like an F6 is a good sign if we're trying to beat counter magic, but if we're trying to beat like spheres and stuff, it's worse for us. We'll have to see what they choose to do. Uh-oh. Mono white initiative or oops all spells. I just shit talked oops all spells in the Discord, so it'd be karmic justice for me to die to it here. If my opponent plays a Thalia, I'm pretty sure we can just tinker through Thalia. Okay, so it is mono white. I don't think I care about a Thalia. Not that I can do anything about it, but like I just tinker through this with my Tolarian Academy that I played. And I don't think it matters. I think I'm going to get rid of the opal so I can get more opals. Yeah. All right, play opal. Dress down. Play Hercules. I'm going to let this one... No, I'll like dress down. Draw. So I can play my land now. Because I have a top. So I'll play a top. Play another top. Oh, I don't need to play another top. Just draw. I shouldn't have find tendrils now. Yeah, we can do that too. I didn't even use my Tolarian Academy against their Thalia. It's too funny. I could have picked up one of these dress downs. I should have. I'm just kind of going through things now because it doesn't really matter what I choose to do. All these things get me there. It's worth noting that tendrils is like not even remotely necessary here because I have the ability to draw through my deck and go Citadel, Yogg-Will, Citadel, double activation. So like, although it's easier to tendrils and it's nice to tendrils, it isn't actually necessary in this exact situation and in most situations where you're POing through your whole deck. However, if I like somehow didn't have 4 dress downs in my deck or something, and I had to like play through a Thalia, then having a tendrils in my deck is obviously a lot more helpful than like trying to do double Citadel activation through a Thalia or whatever. I just know that I'm gonna have YouTube comments about, look, isn't tendrils better? And the answer is sometimes. Typically, you want to not have dead cards in your deck, but sometimes the way you construct your deck, it makes sense. So I'm going to bring in Portal, Dismember, Sphinx. Don't think Plague Engineer does enough here. It would kill Thalia and like do a death touching, but I don't think that's good enough. I think I'm just looking at the removal spells and extra Tinker options. It's possible that this is just like not a Citadel option, but we do have so many dress downs. It's probably still a Citadel option. It's possible you don't even want this Sphinx because you have Portal. Sphinx is not even that good against my opponent's deck. They don't really take out Solitudes and stuff. So I think I'm just going to keep Portal. Because I have 4 dress downs, like my plan is to just dress down their board and then Citadel kill them anyways. Though, of course, if they have like attack me a couple times, it gets harder. I'm gonna take out Flusterstorm, take out Hurkyl's Recall, take out Mental Misstep, take out Gataxian Probe if I could. Maybe we do just take out Gataxian Probe for Sphinx anyways, because I don't need that card. Not that Narset's very good here either. There's a lot of cards here that are just not very good, but I don't have enough. I mean, I'm porting in 5 cards. But like Fluster's 100% dead, besides like Swords or something. I guess Hurkyl's Recall bounces a Null Rod, so it might be worth having a Hurkyl's Recall. So maybe I'll do that. I feel like there are just like so few games where you're gonna get a Sphinx. Let's do that. No, I don't like playing Vault Key in 2023 without Urza Saga. Like, it's clunky. The Vault Key combo is not like amazing without access to 4 tutors that find key. This hand is probably just not good enough to beat mono white. I'm gonna mulligan this. This is much better, obviously. This looks like fetch a basic. Just get rid of this Lorien. Think the Time Walk is more powerful. Maybe the Time Walk is less powerful than the Lorien here. Just don't feel like I'm gonna be able to cast this, but I mean the Time Walk doesn't really do anything, so yeah. Let's do that. See what opponent has for us on turn 1 this time. Oh, Mana Crypt. Not a good sign. It's also important, I guess, if I get turn 1 Null Rotted that I have Lorien. Oh, my opponent is just playing raw turn 1 initiative creature. That one is not good. You need to be playing Thalia or Archon or Null Rod on turn 1 in this matchup. So I guess the biggest problem is I guess I can get Mind Break trapped, but I don't care. And my opponent's F6 anyways, so. Monolith, Opal, Lotus. I guess I should have done it in the other order, but they're F6, so I don't care. Let's draw 3 with our Lorien. Okay, Lorien Reveal does look really good. A lot better than the last time I tested it. Drawing a portal to Phyrexia. Not ideal. I guess what I can do is repeal the Grim Monolith. Is that actually worth doing? It's probably better to just cycle on an Opal, right? Like I can untap the Monolith at some point. Like I might want to hold the repeal for a top decked, like Lost Well into Archon. It's not like I can repeal and hit PO here, right? But there are a lot of cards I can hit. I'm just going to repeal my Opal. That's not a great one. All right. So next turn, I untap my Monolith and play a land. And then on the turn after that, it's 3, 7, 8. If I top deck another mana source, I can play a portal. I might just lose to the White Plume Adventure, to be honest. I just didn't draw exactly what I needed here off of this Lorien Reveal, it looks like. See if my opponent decides to go down Forge or Lost Well. They try to go down Forge. All right, they do have another Cavern. Is this like Cavern on Human, play a Seasoned Engineer, just clock me? Yeah, all right. So I die. I have to win on the next turn. All right, I mean the turn 3 just initiative clock me. Kind of brutal. Yeah, I guess I could theoretically draw a repeal that I used last turn. Or Tinker. Why is my portal in my deck? All right, well, 8 life Citadel. See, like, this is exactly why I think Sphinx is not good in the matchup. Sphinx does actually nothing here. If I had a portal in my deck, I would be a lot happier. Just gonna get rid of this tapped Monolith. But a Citadel with 8 life. Dress down. So I'm still dead on board. So I guess we dress down. Brainstorm. This one I'm actually not sure about the sequencing. If I brainstorm in response, I still have a trigger on the stack. I have a blue mana to play brainstorm from my hand. But I could theoretically put a card back. I have no idea. I don't know what the logic here is on what makes more sense. Like normally you brainstorm when you put like 2 Moxen on top, so it's free. But with a dress down, I guess I'm just gonna draw this brainstorm. I'm not 100% sure it's right though. Definitely playing a crypt out. Soul Ring. Okay, so here's a brick where I can brainstorm. Okay, so I can put back... So I can put back Mystical, and then... I can't PO because I'm 1 life short, right? What can I play with this Mystical? Can I Yogwill? I go to 4, I go to 1, I Yogwill. I can't Tendrils. Oh, wait, I guess I could cast the Mystical from my hand. No, I can't cast the Mystical from my hand because I still... If I had this island, I could put the Mystical in my hand and then Tendrils. What if I go Mystical Yogwill, Mystical from my yard, repeal Tendrils? I think that works. Time Walk with an active Mana Crypt is like pretty bad, right? So think about this. If I go Mystical on top, go to 4, put Yogwill on top, cast Yogwill, Black Lotus, fetch, sorry. Oh, I can't fetch a blue source? It's probably still right, though. So if I go Mystical... No, Tinker Portal is not what we want to do here. I want to win the game. So I Yogwill. Go to... Oh, I mean, I hit an Opal, so the game is over. Yeah, all right. Well, we won this game. Black Lotus. Monolith. Blue mana. Mystical. Tendrils. Repeal. Tendrils, you. Okay. I knew we could win the game on that turn somehow. Okay. Do I own a Tendrils? Okay, we're looking right now at the replay just to make sure that I had a deterministic line, because I didn't really find the deterministic line before I mysticaled, because I have, you know, the cards to work with off the top of my library. But we do have one. So if we mystical for a Yogwill and cast Yogwill, we go to 1 life. All of our colored mana is currently tied up in a Black Lotus. You can crack the Black Lotus for 3 blue, mystical a Tendrils to the top, repeal on your Opal, with a blue, so you have 1 blue floating to draw your Tendrils, replay your Opal and make black mana, tinker away your Opal, and make a new opal for black mana, and then you have enough to, even if you didn't have enough colorless, you could go Grim Monolith and Tendrils. So I believe with the cards currently in the yard, this is a deterministic mystical Yogg line. Though I didn't find the deterministic line before I did it because I thought it looked pretty winning. Plus, you also have the top of your library, so. Can I mystical for PO with 4 cards? Yeah, I mean, we can mystical for PO here too. If it wasn't deterministic, we could go mystical PO. No, you can go mystical Yogg-Will, Black Lotus, PO. Because you can't mystical and then PO right away because you don't have enough life total because you're at 5. This is the same reason we can't mystical and tendrils right away. But we can go mystical Yogg-Will, Lotus, mystical PO, repeal PO, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6+ cards with like infinite mana, 7 cards with the Grim. So like even if we didn't have a mystical Yogg-Will deterministic tendrils line, we probably have a near deterministic PO line as well. So yep, I agree. We're pretty much just winning there with a Yogg-Will, which is kind of the like gut instinct play I assumed. So there it is. All right, 2-0 on to round 3. Miharu Fuyamiya. Don't know if she'll be back on Oath. Unfortunately, I think this hand is just probably not good enough. We already have a Citadel, which is a mulligan. Can't actually play this turn 1 Karn. If my opponent does have something like a Vigor, I guess we have a Vigor covered. Maybe this is just fine. I mean, we have the Sapphire, so. I think I'm going to keep this. I'm not, like, thrilled about it, but kind of like it. Volcanic Island. Jet. Pass. Well, if I can draw a land and play Karn here, I'll be a happy guy. It's not a bad draw either. God, I hope I don't get Spell Pierced. I guess I'll play the Mana Crypt. It's better for me to keep the Sapphire. Do we Flusterstorm this? I think it's okay. Mind Goblin? Ooh. I wonder if we're back to Rug Control Oath. Thank you for the raid, Sylvia. Hope you had a good stream. Welcome, Raiders. We're playing some Vintage. Currently 2-0, facing the Japanese Oath Master, Miharu Fuyamiya. I'm going to just let her go to the next draw step. She, yeah, Rug Oath Master, but hasn't played Rug Oath in a while. Yeah, I really don't want a Ren and 6 in play. Especially if I'm going to like try carning all of her artifacts. I thought Oath was coming for sure. I thought Oath was coming for sure. Okay, I really need to hit Mana Source here, though. Not Lorien, like an actual Mana Source. This is why you don't play Tendrils of Agony in your deck, man. It's so bad. This is the prime example of why you do not register Tendrils. All right, now she has hard cast Force of Will for Karn as well. I don't like the look of this game. Maybe we'll draw Black Lotus and Slam Citadel. Yeah, These are not the cards you're trying to top deck as the PO player. Maybe I should have fought over the Sensei Stop. It's definitely possible. Maybe I just wasn't supposed to keep. Though the fact that she's back on Rug Control Oath is not good for me. This matchup is a lot worse than Oath Intel. I think this deck is very, very good against Oath Intel, but against Rug Controlling Oath with like Pyroblast, Flusterstorms, tons of Walkers and stuff, I do not think this matchup is good. Always been a hard opponent for that reason. All right, okay. Probably has main deck Vigor as well. I have not drawn any lands yet. Even if I draw one of my 3 basic islands, there is a strip mine. There was Ren and 6 strip mine. I really just want to see another Moxen, go for an end of turn PO, untap Karn kind of thing. Can I just, maybe I'll just die to Mana Crypt. All right. I'm going to go for an end step dress down this time. I mean, the minute she finds an Oath, she can just jam an Oath as well. She has played 0 lands since we started doing top deck, so I can only assume all of the cards in her hand are counter magic, right? All right, found the ruby. Want to flip. All right, well, I don't think we're playing into Mindbreak Trap and stuff. I'll let the dress down go. We'll go for an end step PO and then untap. Definitely the key to playing against a control deck, especially a Pyroblast control deck as PO, is to play end step POs into an untap spell. The best thing is if we wait another turn and get protection from Flusterstorm by having an additional mana. That I don't know if I'm willing to do, just because there's really no guarantee, and we still have the ability to Karn Fluster. So I think I just want to go for a PO. I assume this will get countered, but I just would like to start taking counters out of her hand. We have like the end all be all of if we hit Moxen, like a Black Source, we can buy back everything as well. This card's great in control matchups. See what she chooses to do. Looks like we're getting a Force out of her hand. Force pitching Show and Tell. So it's Rug Oath, but it also has Show and Tell. Very interesting. I would not have guessed that. Makes me kind of wish I had my dress down still, but... All right, do we win this flip? This is turn 7. Want another flip. Been pretty lucky on that. Did hit the Underground Sea. So we can actually Yogg-Will replay things. Don't think we're going to do that yet. I think I'm more interested in starting with a Karn, trying to turn off some mana here. This can't be Flustered or Pyroblast, so it has to be forced. And she just used a force. So that's a good thing for us. I can't, like, force a negation, unfortunately, here. Or, sorry, Fluster a negation, probably, right? Oh, wait, no, I can. 1, 2, 3. Force. Hard. Did not play hard cast so that she couldn't get Flusterstormed. Smart play. But yeah, we got 2 forces out of hand. 2 cards left. I'm just going to hold this C so it doesn't get strip mine. And then next turn we'll go Yogg-Will. And I can't actually cast anything off this Yogg-Will besides dress down top. But so maybe we don't go Yogg-Will yet. All right. Land go. 2 cards in hand. I'd love to draw Black Lotus. Play a Citadel. Feed my Yogg-Will. I won a lot of flips in this game, so I'm pretty happy. Force. So if I go land Yogg-Will and I get Flusterstormed, what do I get out of it? I still get a top. It's probably worth it. I don't think I want to be more patient than I am. I am on a clock. All right, so I'm going to get a top and a dress down here. It's not bad. I don't really mind this. It's just like kind of like a little bit of a value Yogg-Will. Try to build out our hand. Hercule's Recall. Okay. Maybe I should have waited till end step and dress down, but there's no oath coming anyway. I guess it would have stopped show and tell. Yeah, I should have waited till the end step and dress down. That doesn't let me play a Moxen, though. And if I had a Moxen off of that dress down, I would be able to spin top, and I definitely want to do that. Time walk resolves. Yeah, probably not the best sequencing when I look back at that. All right, Pearl. That's a hard cast, Atraxa. That's happening. So they'll have one card left. So this force resolves. I think I'm going to hold my Hercules because the Fluster's kind of dead, but I could theoretically Tendrils kill with Hercules here. So I'm just going to force pitching Fluster. They're at 16. They tap their strip mine. If I hit another black source, if I hit like a Mox Opal, don't we have a Tendrils kill? Through, I guess Mindbreak Trap could happen, right? Do I want to upkeep spin? Yes. Should have done it off the red, probably. All right, well, this got to be lethal, right? Yeah, it's like super lethal. Can just cast Citadel. I don't know, everything I do here wins, so I don't think it matters. Oh, I should have probably the dress down in response. I'm just gonna grab a time walk. All right, I found a force. So now I can just go activate target myself and tendrils. Cool. Beats Mindbreak Trap. That was not a game I expected to win. I am really happy with that game. Very, very happy. I think there were some minor sequencing problems from my side of the table, but pulling out a win in that game is. I really don't feel like we've hit a very good cross section of the metagame so far, and so being able to continue winning games off of these decks is really, really nice. God, do I have anything to bring in this matchup? Is the answer no? Maybe I bring in a Soul Guide instead of a Hercules? Yeah, but we're placing against Miharu on Pyroblast Oath, which is not what we want to be doing. I guess we have like Needle Oko, but I really don't think that's what we're winning this game. No, I don't think we're gonna bring in Portal. I don't think that's a good enough play. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I did not update the Stream Decker. I will do that right now. That's on me. I knew I forgot something. Hopefully they have. Nope, I still can't. Yo, Stream Decker just doesn't work anymore. It's so frustrating. The card Lorien Reveal just doesn't go in at all, ever. I don't know why. I mean, I know why. It's the apostrophe thing, but it's very frustrating. All right, so there's a 60th card missing from the deck. All right, I'm gonna hit okay. No, 11 lands, 14 artifacts. Should be 15 artifacts, right? Citadel is not there? No, Citadel is there. Monolith, Mana Vault, top, Soul Ring? Soul Ring didn't go in for whatever reason. Oh, don't worry. I will still submit here. All right. Fix the deck list. I'm just going to bring in a Soul Guide Lantern for like Ren and cantripping. Moxfield has a streaming extension. That's something that I'm interested in. I'll have to check it out. I wasn't aware they had a streaming extension, but their website is obviously a really nice deck list website. I have no problem with their deck list website. So this hand is unbelievably good. I have a force. I have Lorien revealed, turning land into a blue source. To keep. Can turn one Tinker, yeah. Mana Crypt, Grim Monolith, Cycle, and Tinker. Force backup. Probably will. Well, now she knows, though. Hell, yeah, just gotta put the good cards in the deck, Slasher. Uh-oh. Black Lotus. Show and tell. Hmm. I have a dress down, so she knows I have a dress down. So it's got to be Citadel. That's fine. Dress down beats Atraxa here super easy. Like, it has to be Citadel, right? Agreed. The Oath deck is not a great Citadel. Wait, she's playing Rug, though. Oh, no! No! No, it was... Oh, no. Well... It was either a bait or she forgot I had a dress down in my hand. Oh man, dress down is the broken cards. I have a blue card off the top too, so I have Tinker with force backup next turn as well. Oh my god, it's just beautiful. Beautiful. I mean, we'll take it. Okay, on to round 4, Vintage Challenge. See if we can keep up the good luck. Looks like my opponent will be revealing a Luris here. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, I guess I can only vamp with Lotus. Ah, Basic Island coming back to bite me here. I think it's a mulligan. Well, I can still tinker. Nah, I think if I had an underground sea instead of an island, I would keep this. But like using my Black Lotus to vamp for a tinker and going in on a tinker, that doesn't even beat Flusterstorm unless I play my land out. I guess it does because I have a misstep, but it doesn't beat a force. And then I've used what? Mana Crypt Lotus. This is probably just not good enough. Is there any like vamp that's better? I can vamp for Ancestral, I guess. But I don't really even like that much against Luris deck. They could have like a Bowmaster immediately. I think I'm just gonna mulligan this and look for something better. I need a couple more I need like more threats here. Don't like this hand much either. Thanks, Fish. Appreciate that. I don't like this hand that much, but I think this is a fine 6-card hand. I'm just going to get rid of the Paradoxical Outcome, and I'm going to go fetch Basic Island and Ponder. Here, Basic Island looks very nice, obviously. Don't get wastelanded. C top PO. Yeah, this is fine. No, I feel like this is just like kind of a weak hand, all things considered, but like I'm going to keep it on 6 on the play. Yeah, I mean, I don't have 4 brainstorms in my deck. Have you seen the card Brainstorm? That card is broken. Because I'm not a cheater. I don't have high hopes for this game. I know that I'm not drawing another land. So I can't go like Time Walk into Narset. They have multiple Moxen. I'm jealous. Who's the PO deck? Wait. Are we not? We're playing again. Are we playing against another Sheer Khan deck? We are? All right. Another Sheer Khan deck. 4 Moxen Thoughtcast. Needle. That's gonna name Narset, I guess. Jeez. All right. Another Turbo Volkey. That is more Turbo Volkey than any other tournament I've ever played in my life. But I guess, like I said, Nico did just top 8 a tournament, so some people could be incentivized. They didn't put Luris in their hand. I don't know if that means they're holding something up. Yeah, no, Nico. I don't think it is, but we'll see. See. It has to be Spell Pierce. That's the only card in the deck. There's no Flusterstorms. I guess they could technically be holding up Mystical or Vampiric or Spell Pierce. Negation doesn't make sense. PO doesn't make sense. So it's either Spell Pierce or Mystical and Negation. If they Spell Pierce my Time Walk, I'm okay with such a thing happening. Yeah, most decks will have the best win rate in the format if their only 2 pilots are Nico and Sprouts. Yeah, let's just take the 2 of the top 10 vintage players and they're the only players who play the deck. No problem. Easy. All right, I'm gonna try to bait a Spell Pierce on Time Walk, I think. I guess I could theoretically just repeal this Opal. Doesn't really help me that much. I could just go Mana Vault. I could go repeal, play Mana Vault. Could be good. I don't know if this play is actually good, though. Spell Pierce. Float. Go next. Mystical? No. Okay. All right, well, I'm going to get this Mana Vault in play. That'll give me some room against Spell Pierce as well. A deck is as good as its best player's results. Yeah, that is not a philosophy that I or most people will agree with. That is a bad way to negate variance. All right, so we're drawing some fresh ones now. My opponent is still holding open Spell Pierce. I actually think we still want to play a Narset. Narset's like amazing against my opponent's deck, right? My opponent's deck is 3 Thoughtcast, 2 Paradoxical Outcome. But I don't know. There's something to be said about like brainstorming here into a fetch land. No, I kind of like the idea of getting a Narset in play, even if I can't activate it. I guess they're going to play a Luris next turn. And then I don't have a Mana Vault. I did use my repeal not on the Needle. I don't really like my options very much. Guess we could rebuy. Like, Time Walk gets better if I have more things. Like, this is like the worst use of Time Walk, but maybe simply having another piece of information is enough. If they spell pierce this, we're totally fine. We could even pay for it and play top if we wanted to. If we can like put together a PO through a spell pierce, it's pretty good too. What do we need to do that? We would have to draw like exactly mana crypt, right? Like, because if I go Pearl top, I guess Pearl top doesn't beat spell pierce, right? But we can just play Pearl Narset this turn, and then if they go Luris, then we can go on the next turn. I mean, we can just brainstorm too, though. All the things seem pretty good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go top or Pearl Narset. I think Narset actually handles a lot of my opponent's best cards. If they want to pierce this, they forced this. Pitching pierce. Okay, yeah, totally cool with that too. Super cool with that. All right, so next turn we'll just go for PO for the win. Oh, they have Mystical. All right, they Mystical and they get PO and win. All right, well, that's unfortunate. Because they're going to go for the win with Paradoxical Outcome. So they force Narset, get a Paradoxical Outcome, PO for 4 with Moxen, probably winning. I highly suspect this is winning, but we'll see. My opponent had a bit better hand than I did. PO for 3. There's only 2 paradoxical outcomes in my opponent's deck, so the fact that they drew the fact that they drew the second PO after the first PO is very nice. If you want to play a powerless deck, the best deck is Bazaar. If you can't find Bazaars, the best deck is probably some kind of grief scam deck with Collector Roof. But I don't have high hopes for that deck. Haywire might kill my Mana Vault. Interesting. I mean, they drew a million cards. They're back up to 7 cards in hand, so it's going to be very tough. So if I brainstorm, there's just still no cards that I want to get rid of, right? I feel like I have to set up for another turn. I guess I could just PO for 2. Like, if they have Spell Pierce, they have Spell Pierce. They have only 1 more Spell Pierce in their deck. I think that's actually just fine. I'm like kind of in a bad spot as it is. I think this is okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, if you're talking about EU, there are no powerless prizes. If you're talking about NA, we don't even know if there are powerless prizes yet. But yes, powerless prizes would probably not include Bazaar, but you kind of had to specify that for me. But yeah, I mean, I think that grief scam or something similar is probably your best non-power choice. How do I win this game? My opponent is out of counter magic and I top deck Tinker. Time Vault is in the yard. Luris is in hand. Oh, God. Luris, replay Time Vault. Luris, replay Lotus. My opponent's a Turbo Volkey deck that we showed on stream here. There's 2 engineers in it that find Time Vault because the only way this deck wins is Volkey. I guess it technically can win with Saga tokens for what it's worth, but all right, my opponent has Vault Key, but past the turn, tapped out. Winnable game! Super winnable game. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Come on, top deck. That's not it. Brainstorm. Mental misstep. Unreal. Real. All right. So now I need to find Ancestral into Lotus Tinker. I didn't have anything on top anyways. Force Fluster. Okay, yep, I died. I mean, my opponent's hand was just much better than mine. And like I said, this matchup's probably not very good. But we were able to beat it earlier in the tournament, so we can try again. I just like bringing in Needle Lantern, and I like taking out Hercules and Mystical. Those are the cards I took out. Yep. It was kind of unfortunate that my opponent had like such a super telegraphed Spell Pierce, and like eventually just pitched it to Force. But they clearly ripped Tinker They clearly ripped the tutor for the turn, right? Because they didn't cast tutor on turn 1. So they ripped tutor, had Force of Will, and then tutored with Force of Will backup. Bring in Strip Mine? No. I don't care about Urza Saga at all. Urza Saga is a completely useless card in this matchup. I don't need to bring in Strip Mine. Like, yeah, it finds Vault Key, but at that point, you're already losing anyways. I don't want to Strip Mine here. Have to go for Ancestral Upkeep here. Can't really wait for a Flusterstorm mana. Yeah, I mean, I understand, but I just don't think that's how I want to play the game. No shot. Yeah, that's totally possible. Seems like a tournament that would be worth attending. Gotta start like planning early and getting the word out. It's very the word of mouth inside of like the vintage like paper community groups is very important. Like making sure you get all the Texas guys to show up, making sure you'll get the Oklahoma Land Run guys to show up, the West Coast guys. So like it's very important. Not a great draw. I think I just want to get this needle down now on Time Vault. I guess that lets them get Haywire Might, but I think that's okay as well. Really wish I don't have a Tendrils in my hand, but if my opponent's like searching a Haywire Might out of a Saga, I'm fine with that. Those are not the cards we're looking to draw here. Kind of need my Ancestral to not get forced, but it's a guy to do. Unfortunately, they don't get baited into making construct tokens here either. This game's going to be very hard to win. The best thing that can happen to you from my side of the table is my opponent invest mana in construct tokens. It is absolutely just incredibly good for us if they ever do that. We are so dead. Opponent's gonna what? Buy Luris, replay Luris, Soul Ring. Why are we dead? Do you see my hand? My hand does functionally nothing, and my opponent has infinite mana. We're like super dead. Oh. I just don't think I'm ever mulliganing the hand that I kept, and it just happens that getting forced is the worst outcome, right? Soul Ring's fine. That's definitely a good draw. I'm gonna be shields down for this turn, but what am I gonna do? They're gonna counter it. Crack Lotus, Spell Pierce. My body's ready. Yeah. Not great. What is my way back into this game? Definitely starts with a Mox. We have time. But we need to build out our mana. Fetch is good. Definitely interested in just time walking. Opponent wants to counter time walk, and that's fine. Well, we can't draw Ancestral. We had Ancestral in our opening hand. Are we getting countered again? Hardcast Force on time walk? Sure. This is a great outcome. Totally okay with that. Like, my opponent doesn't have like a bobble or anything to loop right now with Luris, so Luris is just like a bunch of mana and a 3/2 lifelinker. More keys. Okay. What is this? What do you need this much mana for? PO? You drew one of the two POs? There's only two POs in this deck, right, Nico? Yeah, there's two POs. All right. PO Mirror strikes again. Yeah, it happens. There were definitely weaknesses in the hand that I kept. And they were exploited pretty badly. Why are we getting Ancestral instead of another PO? It doesn't make any sense. Maybe we already drew the other PO. Your PO is a draw, 5 or 6. There's no reason to get an Ancestral. Yeah, I have a Needle in play, so you need to have a Repeal or a Haywire Might. Okay. Or a Portable Hole. Okay. Or a Portable Hole. Sure. We needled Vault instead of Key because my opponent can play Manifold Key or Voltaic Key in this deck and frequently does. Though, to be fair, Nico's last list did not play the split, but I have to play around the split. All right, well, I'm dead. It is what it is. We have to just regroup and try to win the next one. That was about as uncompetitive as a match we could have gotten, though. We basically got rolled over. Opponent cast a lot more POs than we did. Is what it is. Okay, here we go. We are now in round 5 out of 7 rounds. We are playing against Andreas. I don't know what Andreas is on this time. As always, one of the players with the larger ranges among vintage regulars. This hand has cantrips, mana, and Flusterstorm. I'm going to keep it. Hurkles is probably not very useful here, but that's okay. Doomsday is obviously well within opponent's wheelhouse. I'm interested in pondering here with a fetch land. Wow. Fluster, Thoughtseize, Dress Down. I'm going to keep these. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw Dress Down, and then that way I can hold up Fluster, Dress Down, and then next turn I'll Thoughtseize them. And then I can decide whether or not I want to keep another Fluster or not. And I'm just going to play out everything. It's okay if I start taking mana crypt flips. Don't think that's going to be part of the game that matters here. If my opponent does end up on Doomsday, which like I said is well within their range, this Dress Down will be good. If they end up on like Breach or some kind of Saga deck, this Dress Down will be good. I guess Thoughtseize is something I need to consider my life total with mana crypt here. Chat. Okay. I mean, this looks like Doomsday to me. So I'm interested in drawing Thoughtseize and trying to pick apart their hand a little bit. Want to flip. The question will be, do we want second Flusterstorm? Force, Daze, Probe. I think I just want to take Probe here. I don't really care about Force, Daze. Rather than just not know my hand and not draw a card. I think that's fine. I'm thinking I'll probably draw this Flusterstorm. All right, one unknown. I'll draw this Flusterstorm and then pass back. Won a lot of flips here, which has been very helpful. All right, well, I have very nice answers. I'm just looking for payoffs on my side. Lorians and POs. I'd love to go like end step PO. Should be able to play this game out kind of from a little bit of a control angle. They went top on their preordain. 2 unknowns. I'm going to hold this Wasteland in case I draw a Sensei's Top. 1 all 3 flips. Brainstorm. This is fine to use now. I have a fetch land, I have a Hurkles, I have a Karn, so easy to get rid of Hurkles tendrils. Can fetch now. The question is, do we wait a turn to play this Karn or jam? My opponent has Force, Daze. If they force, I can't win a Flusterstorm, right? Oh, no, this will be Storm 2, Storm 3. It would win a Flusterstorm. But I'll be tapped out unless I use my Black Lotus to start. Turning off their Black Source is really good. Yeah, I think I'm in for it. Maybe we just get Needle and name Street Wraith. Or I guess we could name Polluted Delta. Let me go look at the last list. Don't think I want to put this jet in the yard. Two Strand, two Rainforest, two Delta, three Street Wraiths. Well, I have black, black, black turned off now. I mean, I could just go Soul Guide Lantern. Which might just be better. I don't get to hold up Dress Down Fluster now, but I still have double Fluster, so I think it's probably fine, especially considering my opponent has no triple black anymore. And I can just cycle this Lantern out and stuff. I thought I cracked this away. Didn't I fetch that away? Pretty sure I fetched that one away. All right, now I'm losing a flip. Sensei's top. Oh, maybe I should have hit the Black Lotus with my Soul Guide Lantern so I could rebuy it with Karn. Should I kill this jet? Yeah, I'll kill the jet. I think it's okay. If they want to dig, I think that's okay as well. Yeah, I think I should have Soul Guide Lantern and hit my Black Lotus. That would have been slightly better. I think holding open this kind of mana, this kind of situation here should keep me relatively safe. And then I can probe them, get a look, make sure everything's the same. At some point, maybe we can hit enough mana to Lattice lock our opponent. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to progress this game. But yeah, I do kind of regret. I mean, the nice part about hitting the card in their yard is it keeps them further from like a dig through time, right? But is that really a concern from here? I can Hercules myself. True. Maybe I will. Is this a Vampiric Tutor? Probably letting that one resolve. This hand is not like amazing because it's hard for me to use. Like using this Mana Crypt was like a lot. It cost a lot to use this Mana Crypt. I'd love to be able to hold up more spells. Like there's definitely a chance you can die through double fluster here. It's not very high, but if my opponent goes like Doomsday with, I guess they'd have to have flusters of their own or something. I mean, they can just go Necro here, right? If they have like a land in hand and a Necro. Oh, we're going Consult. I should just fluster this, right? If they pay, they pay. That's fine. If they follow this up with... They follow this up with Oracle. I can't really win a dress down war against double force. And if this wants to just get like value, pay and get value, I think we're going to be okay with that. I could just fluster again, but I don't think it's good now to fluster again. I think I just let them do whatever they want to do with this console. Get a Doomsday, I assume. They found a Doomsday relatively quick. They did lose Black Lotus Gush to get there, so not that big a deal. Can I resolve a Lattice here? So I draw a Ruby, I play 4 mana, I Hercules to my hand, I play an additional 2 mana, so then I can get a Lattice 6 mana double Flusterstorm. Think so. So I probe. Gets me my Ruby. Yeah. So Ruby, activate, top, Urkels. Yep, this is beating Double Days Force. I have a fetch land on top of my library with the Sensei Stop. So I guess technically if my opponent forces... They forced pitching Days, though, so now we're definitely winning. Urkels actually came in handy here. My opponent technically could win the battle if they had not pitched Days and they had fought over Hercules, but once the Hercules resolves, we would win the battle because we know there's a fetch land on top. Oh. You're right. I don't have a second Flusterstorm. Oops. No, I didn't remember that. That's too funny. No, I forgot. All right, so my opponent has Oracle Force. I mean, we just make them force, right? It's fine. Well, I kind of want to just hold open dress down. So I think it's fine to just make them use a force here. If they hadn't pitched Days, this line sucks, but they pitch Days, I get to hold open dress down and go to my next turn, and I have a top and a spin. I think it's fine. I played this game pretty... I don't hate the way I played this game, but I feel like I could have played this game better. All right, so my opponent's going to cast Doomsday, which is just fine. We know they have an Oracle as their last card. They shouldn't be able to beat double dress down, right? I guess my question is like how much I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have the ability to play top, spin top, and still have double dress down. They also can't use Black Lotus, not me, because I have a Karn in play. Well, there's probably no Chain of Vapor in their deck, so I'm probably going to have to map this out this time. Yeah, they can't get Gush either. Not like Lotus they couldn't get because of Karn, but they can't get Gush is a big deal as well. I guess we're going to have to map this one. Correct. I can wait until they cast an Oracle and cast Dress Down in response. I don't really have anything else to get off of my Karn besides like Needle or Sphinx as a blue card. All right, chat. Time to figure this out. I assume Ancestral is one of the cards. Time Walk is not. Second Oracle is not one of the cards. How many Doomsdays? Ancestral. Doomsday 1, Doomsday 2, Doomsday 3. So is Doomsday one of the cards? I got a Doomsday 1, Doomsday 2. Doomsday is one of the cards. This is the whole exile, all 49 cards right here. No gosh. 1 force, 2 force, 3 force. 1 force of will. This is the graveyard. They just cast a Doomsday. Hand, graveyard, exile. Three Underground Sea, 4 Underground Sea. Watery Grave. Dig and Cruise. Brainstorm. Probe. Street Wraith. Street Wraith. Street Wraith? 1 Street Wraith, 2 Street Wraith, 3 Street Wraith. Street Wraith is one of them. Preordain. Preordain 2, Preordain 3, Preordain 4. Fluster Storms, Fluster 1, Fluster 2. Could be a Fluster Storm. Wraith, Wraith, Wraith. Oh, 4/4 Wraith. So I think it's just Fluster, maybe. All right, something like that, at least. I mean, that's just the complete best possible card, right? Yeah. Tendrils win. Not currently, right? I am 1 mana short on Tendrils. Black. I can get Tormod script and kill with Tendrils. Doomsday is stressful, man. Doomsday is so stressful. Okay. I mean, we have 4 dress down. This is about as good as the matchup can get. The Hercules was kind of nice there. Sideboard option, opponent is likely on opposition agent. I don't think we bring in Dismember for that. I think we just keep dress down. Lattice, Lantern, Needle. Strip Mine is good. Maybe I'll just go Strip Mine for Hercules Recall. Doomsday is great. For a long time, best deck in the format. Yeah, I think this is just a small Strip Mine for Hercules swap. I like how we're set up. I don't think we want to have the ability to dismember an opposition agent from the board. I think we'll just play with dress downs. Yeah, I'm okay with this. No, I like Repeal. It's a blue card that cycles and stuff. I don't mind Repeal. This hand's definitely good. Obviously, I can die on turn 1, but that's not how most of these games are gonna go. All right, so if I don't hit a land, I'll lead on Ruby. They want to daze it. We're 1 mana short of POing this turn, but we're just going to lead Thoughtseize. See what they have. Mindbreak Trap. I guess I'm happy my Opal didn't get Mindbreak Trapped. They don't have second Mindbreak Trap. Okay. Second Mindbreak Trap. Fair enough. Third Mindbreak Trap? Okay. I mean, these are things we could have played around, but were we ever going to do such a thing? Yeah. I don't know, man. Am I playing around Doomsday on the play, having Mindbreak Trap days? Like, is that something I'm doing? I don't think so. Like, I'm just gonna play my cards out. I don't think I'm playing around that. Brainstorm Fetch. We're so dead, man. Oh boy, we are so dead. Dark Ritual, Doomsday Cantrip, kill me. Sheesh. Sheesh. Well, been bested in the arena of ideas. What am I gonna do? Probably just tutor Force, maybe. Maybe they tutor a Doomsday. Mana? Blue mana? Not blue mana. I was pretty happy when my Thoughtseize got Mindbreak trapped because I was like, damn, nice. Now my Mox Opal's not getting Mindbreak trapped. The fool I was. Cruise, yeah. Nah, not really. There wasn't really a way I was beating that. I sequenced around days as much as I could. I think it was fine. I just got wrecked with the hand I kept. I mean, I'm always gonna keep my hand. I think it's good. But yeah, I mean, my opponent just got 3 1-for-1s into Doomsday Kill You, so not much I'm doing about that. I'm a little surprised he brought in Mindbreak Traps on the play, but worked out. I'd like to see the post-board configuration here for sure. Probably brought in a third Daze as well, maybe. I'd like to see if there's opposition agents. That's something I would like to know. I mean, I'm assuming there are opposition agents. I don't have Sagas, but I do have Vamp and Demonic and Mystical and Merchant. I guess I theoretically could have gone like Ruby Jet Pass, but there's just no world in which I ever make that line. I need to use my mana. I have no like force of will for their like turn 2 Doomsday or anything. I'm pretty much forced into my line, and it is what it is. Like if I have a fetch line in my hand, I don't have to make the play I made. I can probably go fetch Jet Thoughtseize and then stop, right? But I just didn't have a land in my hand. Like if I go fetch Jet Thoughtseize, my opponent is super screwed, right? Their hand's Mindbreak Trap, Daze. That's like super doomed. Just play around Mindbreak Trap for the whole game. Thoughtseize their best card. Play around Daze the whole game. It's just unfortunate how our hands lined up. I wonder if he brought in Steel Sabotages. Do Sabotages not make more sense on the play than traps? Or I guess it doesn't matter. It's all kind of doing the same thing. What do you cut though? How many what are you cutting out of Doomsday for this kind of stuff? Are you cutting like Dark Rituals or something? It's hard to fit all of these cards. We're deep in the Doomsday tank. The good news is, if my opponent is this deep in the Doomsday tank, it's highly unlikely that they are killing us this turn. The bad news is, they probably have a counter spell, so even if we draw a blue mana source and Tinker, we probably still lose, right? So. And we still have to draw a blue mana source. A couple in our deck. 11, 12, 13, 14. Not bad. Hey, chat. seen any good movies lately? I got nothing. I have no agency. I'm just here throwing my hands in the air and getting mind break trapped. If you're watching this on YouTube, write in the comments your favorite movie you watched recently. New movie. Academy is the best draw? Yeah, Academy's a great draw. Academy gives us Tinker with Fluster back up. And if I don't have to use Fluster, then I can ponder and shuffle if I need to. Academy's a great draw. Lotus is a pretty good draw as well. Lotus can get countered, obviously, but if Lotus resolves, then I have Fluster. Oh, I mean, in paper play, it's easy. Like 2 minutes ago, you would have said you have to make a choice. On Magic Online, they're using their clock, and they're allowed to use as much clock as they want to resolve Doomsday, so. In paper, you go, after a minute or whatever, you say, hey, you need to make a choice, and then if they take more time, then you call a judge, or you do it in the opposite order. Doomsday's hard. Like we can't all be Discoverin, We're pretty much never going to time Andreas out. That's not really a viable line. The man plays a lot of Magic Online. This is the vintage challenge. We got a bunch of sickos here. Karate Dom talks a lot of shit about vintage, but still just shows up in the vintage challenge anyways. Yeah, pretty sus. Pretty sus. Mickey Mouse format, too much fun. Well, he only talks shit about the format when he goes 0-2 or 1-2 drop. Which is a lot. We just need the return of Sedgemoor Witch, then it'll be fine. No, I mean, technically, every blue source gives us an out of casting and Tinker and resolving Tinker. We don't know if our opponent has counter magic in hand. All right, so our opponent did not board in any opposition agents. They have a Spell Pierce in their deck. I see no Steel Sabotages. So the only cards they boarded in are Mindbreak Trap, 1 days, and still possibly another days. All right. I am going to, I mean, they could have, of course, like if they have like a deterministic pile, they can hide opposition agents on the bottom of the pile to like not show me they have opposition agents. Like that's a next level like play that Andreas would make. I would definitely put Andreas on doing something like that. We're just trying to hit Tolarian Academy. That's a force. That technically might buy us a turn. Dark Ritual. Necropotence. So if the Oracle is already in hand, interesting. So if the Oracle is already in hand, after this gets countered, they can draw into the Oracle and play it. And if it Oracle, yeah, because if the Oracle's already in hand and they Necro 2 cards, they can still have Fluster backup. I'm just gonna let this go and then it's fine. I'll die. Okay, we're just drawing a bunch of cards. So they have Oracle Flusterstorm here? Or are they just going to go to the next turn? Oh, they're going to go to the next turn with full grip. Okay, I like that play. All right, so I mean, I don't think we can win. So maybe I was supposed to force the Necro. Again, like, if we draw Tolarian Academy, I kind of think we're in a good spot. Demonic Tutor. There's just no chance that resolves. All right, so I think we died. Maybe I was supposed to force the Necro. They didn't have Ancestral or Gush in the pile, so maybe I was just supposed to force Necro. It's kind of interesting. So this is Lotus, Oracle, Hardcast Force. It's cute. I would have to have 2 forces to beat this. Oh, Spell Pierce. Sure. Okay. Yeah, I definitely was probably wrong in not forcing Necro, right? Interesting. Put me in a weird spot. Just was not drawing a blue source. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna play the same way. Same setup. And hopefully not get my break trapped. So what reason do you go Necro instead of like Gush or Ancestral there? What's the logic? Was he like worried about Narset again, or just trying to bait me into something that I didn't want to force? Like it was all mind games. Because like if it's Ancestral or Gush, I always force it. Where if it's Necro, I might not force it. Is that what it was? I mean, if it was like mind games, like I got schooled, right? Like I'm always forcing Ancestral Gush, right? It's very straightforward muscle memory, but maybe I don't force Necro, and then he wins because I didn't force Necro. Kind of sick, right? It's fine. Opponent has 2 Mind Break traps in their deck. I probably should have held not F6 because I would probably misstep a misstep there. Well, that's what I assumed. I assumed he had Necro in hand, so like had a cantrip on top and would win anyways if I forced, right? That's kind of what I thought was happening, but maybe like that's just next level. I don't know. I feel like I made a mistake, but it's a little hard to say. All right. Well, I have some sweet options here. I've got a lot of mana. I have Misstep. I don't really like any of my lines. Sleight of hand. I'll fetch in response. I feel like opposition agent post board could still happen. The problem with like end step PO here is my cards are not really recastable. Like I can't play PO again if I do such a thing. What I might just do is repeal this jet. Doesn't really do anything, but it lets me cycle. Don't know if that's actually good or not. I guess I theoretically could repeal my Vault later. So like if I go for end step PO into every piece of counter magic they could possibly have, I draw top for turn. It's just not good. Just gonna cycle this. I don't have to tap the top, but if I don't tap the top, it's like not very good. No land drop. All right, I'm gonna do it. I am gonna tap the top too. It's gonna be a Flusterstorm. Spell Pierce. Oh, I have that covered. It's quite good for me that I have that covered. What I don't have covered is Mind Break Trap here. If they force back and I force back and there's Mind Break Trap. I feel like I should just take this win as is, spin my top. Yeah, I'm not gonna go another force deep here. Black Lotus. Okay. So I just play top Lotus here. I could theoretically do more, but again, that plays into Mind Break Trap. I think I'm just interested in like another end step PO. That plays into Daze though, which I kind of hate. So maybe I don't do that. Ugh. I really wish I had a mental misstep for that, right? I think I thought it'd go. They didn't have a land before, so maybe they can't shuffle. I can force pitch PO, untap and cast Lorien, I guess. So they did hit a fetch land and then a preordain. I feel like I'm just getting the stupid outvalued card cantrip engine of Doomsday is just murdering me here. Even if we had a good trade, it's like not enough. Demonic Tutor. Sure. Cast Demonic Tutor. What are we getting with Demonic Tutor? Something that gets Flusterstormed? We're not going to time them out. It's highly unlikely. I guess this could just get dazed. Maybe we just get something that can't be Flusterstormed. Options being Academy, Karn, Soul Ring, Monolith. Yeah, I like Academy. Now we technically have enough to PO with Flusterstorm beating it. Gives us a lot of options. They still have 5 cards in hand, though. Like, we're still getting outvalued. Now they know about Dress Down Force. I think I'm losing this game. I feel like it's very hard to say we're in a spot where we can win. But I guess if they have to, like, invest multiple cards or... I don't know. Strip Mine Island Opal. Is there value in Strip Mine here? Doesn't seem like there is. Feels like it's too late for something like that. They don't have any more land drops though. If I go Opal, I have like More options for PO. Wonder if I should untap this Mana Vault. I feel like I can, right? Tap my Academy and 1 land, untap Mana Vault, leaving me with Mana Vault, Island, Lotus, and Strip. Yeah, I think I can do that this turn. What is this, Gush? Fuck. That's so bad for me. Oh, it's Dig. There's PO in response here. I just get blown out by Fluster. Not really, right? 2 cards, Fluster 3. I mean, I can pay for Fluster. No, I hate it. I think I'm just gonna die, but so maybe I should just do it in battle. Oh, too late now. I think that might have been the window, though. It's not even that good. I mean, it's good. It's still draw 4, replay Lotus. If I have to use Lotus, it's draw 3. We're drawing Island, Mox Elpal. It's just not good, right? Like, the casting PO right now, when we know what cards we're drawing, is just not good. Did you draw Gush off Dig? No. All right, well. Mystical, Ancestral. We just can't beat this kind of card advantage. We're playing a long game, and we just shouldn't play a long game. My opponent has just cast infinite cantrips, and there's just nothing we can do about this. I think I should have just taken that opportunity and gone for it. I think it's just too doomed now. There's just no way. There's just no shot. Yeah, I played this game terribly. I should have found a moment, picked a moment, and laid my cards down and said, "Can you beat it?" Just this grinding game where my opponent draws Brainstorm, Preordain, Ancestral is just so bad. There's no world in which the way I played this game is correct. I need to see if they put a Time Walk in this pile. 1 Oracle. There is a Time Walk in the pile. So I can't play a Dress Down right now. So if I play a Dress Down right now, and then I end step pick up my Dress Down with PO, but I know that I'm not drawing a blue card, I'm just super dead. I just don't have counterplay here. I've just took too many cards down. So if I cast end step Dress Down right now, Off of Lotus. And then I could cast PO and pick up my dress down at the end of the next turn if they just pass. This also gives them ability not to discard a hand size. That resolves. Okay. They just gotta pass through this turn. With this trigger on the stack, I'm just gonna PO it. Days hard cast. Okay. Oh, thanks, Nix. Hope you had a good stream. One, two, three, four, five. I mean, I have enough to double force. Nope. I just don't have enough cards, man. I had to pick a spot in this game. I played this game badly. I had to pick a spot in this game where I thought I had the best chance to resolve a PO and pick a better spot than what I did. The way I played it out was fine. It's just never going to be winning. That's kind of frustrating. I just don't know. I don't know where. I mean, like, the DT for Academy was what let me play. Like, DT for Academy makes sense if you want to try to play it out and, like, pick a good spot. But the problem is when my opponent is playing Ancestral into Brainstorm, into you know, Preordain, I just am never going to get a better spot. Like, maybe if my opponent wasn't drawing Ancestrals and Preordains and was instead drawing, like, Doomsdays and Dark Rituals, then yeah, then maybe the way I played it out makes sense. But like the way I played it out mapped up so poorly against the way my opponent, you know, like cantripped in that game. So it like, I don't know. I kind of liked how I played this end setup where I like dressed down and tried to PO it back and ended up with double force. Like that seemed pretty good, but it's just never enough, right? It's never ever going to be enough there. So I need to really, I think the answer is probably when my opponent casts Dig Through Time, I have to hope they don't have a Flusterstorm and in response cast PO. That's what I'm probably thinking is the best scenario, but I don't know for sure. Oh, Travis just subbed and now we're playing them. All right. All right, we're on to round 6 of 7. Got to regroup. What do I have? DT. I mean, I'm keeping this. I gotta figure out how to play this, but we're keeping this. It's probably... It's probably just Jet, Lorien, Basic Island, Sapphire. No, sorry. Sapphire, Lorien, Basic Island, Demonic for something. And that something is either Tinker PO. It's probably just Ancestral, all things considered. Because I have another way to play this game out with Karn in comparison to like tinkering and going all in. Just gonna go Ancestral. It looks fine here. And I technically could get like Ancestral off Mystical or something, but I think that's just gonna go pitch to Force. And I'd rather have gotten the basic blue-red. My god. What did I do to deserve this? Mana Vault. Alright, well that's not bad. I'm just gonna go Mana Vault Karn. Can't get, I guess you can get Spell Pierced, but it can't get Flustered or Pyroed. Just gonna plus. So here, I think I'm still gonna wait on this Ancestral. There's no real reason for me to go in so hard on it. My opponent could like play in Dreadhorde Arcanist or something to try to pressure this Karn, or I don't think I need to go hard on this Ancestral right now for no reason. Yeah. I don't have the mana to go Ancestral, get it countered, Mystical Tinker. So... I need to really... Alright, this is fine. I'm just going to Ancestral on my turn. I think they have Flusterstorm, almost assuredly. They clearly don't have Negation, so... Okay, where does that leave us now? 4 mana, Merchant Scroll, Mystical, Dress Down, Karn. Karn doesn't really do anything. Karn can get a Lantern and Needle. Oh, Sphinx. This treasures are already turned off. I think I'm just go scroll for a PO and mystical for a tinker or something, and I don't know, it just seems fine. If my opponent wants to Flusterstorm, this is fine. Don't care. Just gonna make this bigger and then pass. I guess they can have Hull Breacher, but I have Dress Down Force. I mean, this might just hit me to try to like hit something good, but I've already used Ancestral, so yeah, it's just gonna hit me. Like you can hit a... I mean, all the good cards in my deck are not even already gone, right? So... Strip Mine? Pain. Alright. All Mystical for a Flusterstorm, and then go for... I guess I can't... Oh, why did I get a freaking Underground Sea? I'm gonna take it an island. I can't actually go PO with Fluster back up, huh? It's kind of bad for me. What am I doing then? Because of the Strip Mine kind of ruined that plan. Tinker, Time Walk, Yogwill, Thoughtseize. Another PO. Maybe the answer is just get another PO, pass to their upkeep, PO in their upkeep. I feel like I played this game atrociously. The underground sea fetch was abysmal. I mean, I can get a Yogwill. None of my cards play around freaking Flusterstorm right now. I guess technically I have a PO, so if I I have a force, so I could technically go Yogwill. I don't even have like a great Yogwill though. I have just Ancestral or Demonic. Just gonna grab a PO. This was bad. I shouldn't have done this. Especially fetching C. All right, in their upkeep, gonna cast PO. Yeah, I know you have Fluster, so I'm hoping they just don't have double Fluster, and then I'll untap. I'm gonna untap and cast another PO, and that's how I want to play this game. I'm just hoping that's enough. Because like if I get Wastelanded here, I just like threw the whole game because I'm bad, right? I just missed the right land. Hit Tolarian Academy. I would have loved a Tolarian Academy. Yeah, they have Wasteland. All right. So like I said, I threw this entire game by misclicking my fetch land. I'm so bad at Magic. It's crazy. All right. Let's see what we can do. Yep. Yep. I threw the whole thing. Yeah, I have a third island. I specifically in my deck for this exact scenario, and I just messed up. Just incredible misplay for the whole game for just a fetch land. They hit Time Walk. I can't believe this. This was just a one game. And I just threw the whole game by literally fetching the wrong land through the whole game. Monkey is a terrible Magic card. Why would you ever restrict Monkey? Monkey has nothing to do with the problems in this game. Monkey does not matter in the slightest. That card is horrible and should not play it in Vintage. What is this? Lightning Bolt on my Mana Vault. I wish I had drawn a land here. Yeah, that's fine. So what I can do is get a Lantern and exile the Mana Vault, and then I can play the Lantern on the next turn if I don't hit a mana here. I hit a mana here. All right, so if my opponent doesn't have another Flusterstorm, that's the key. I don't think I'm gonna like get a Tormod script and pick it up. That doesn't seem good. My Karn can only get Mana Vault if it's exiled. All right, I win the game anyways. Awesome. Oh, I try so hard to just throw these games. It's crazy. All right, well, now I'm going to go get something. Oh, I guess I can just get Lattice. No, Lattice isn't. I'll just get the Soul Guide Lantern. I'm just going to draw through my deck here and win anyways. Oh, I had a Mana Crypt in exile? Okay, that I'm an idiot about. The Mana Crypt was exiled by the Ragavan. That one is very bad misplay. I did not realize. When did it hit the Mana Crypt? The last turn? So I would have always had the ability this turn. Yeah, that one was pretty bad. Okay. Okay, we're gonna focus. We're gonna focus and try to play the best we can from here on out. It was bad, but like I said, we can pull together and we'll play fine here. Can't pick up the Karn because I don't want to give them mana. Just looking to find tendrils, basically. We'll get there eventually. Currently don't have a tutor. We have Brainstorm, Top, Play Citadel. Probably just better to play Narset. Sees the most cards. None of those are the cards I'm looking for. I guess I can Brainstorm and then Tinker a Citadel if I want or something like that. I also have the ability to Hercules myself to make a bunch of mana. Probably just want to spin my top first. All right, there's Yogwill. That should do it. All right. Draw. Black. Yogwill. Keep. All right. I tried really hard to throw the game, but we pulled together here. Okay. I need to focus. I need to calm down. And I need to pull the mental together. I definitely should have gotten the Mana Crypt from Exile and fetched a basic in that game, but the rest of the game was fine. The basic idea of how I wanted to play that game was fine. It was just the execution was off. So it's okay. All right. I'm going to get some water, chat, and we're going to focus up here. I also got a beer, so that'll help. I think I was like just not in a great mindset from the Doomsday loss, and I just didn't let it. I let it carry over, and I shouldn't have. So we're playing against blue-red. Do we need removal spells? Like, clearly we don't need removal spells for Ragavan. That doesn't matter very much, but they do have Hold Reachers, probably. I don't think we want like Needle. Like Wasteland shouldn't really matter this much in this matchup because I have Triple Island to get. I don't think we want something like Sphinx. That's not really how we win. Lantern, Needle, Strip Mine, no. So maybe I just bring in a Dismember for Recall. Hercules Recall. And take out Mystical for a second Dismember. I really hate Mystical in this like Flusterstorm Pyroblast matchup. Maybe we'll run like this. Maybe we'll reevaluate in game 3. What do we have? What do we have? What do we have? We've got Mental Misstep, Force of Will, but no mana. Can't do that. Mulligan. This one has a lot of stuff. Keep. Probably just gets rid of Dress Down because we... Well, maybe we just get rid of Dismember because we have Dress Down. Ruby. Dash Ragavan. Just Ruby go? Okay. I mean, that means I'm getting Pyroblasted, right? Yeah. Force. Pyroblast. Arcanist. Preordained. Dak Faden. Okay. Feel like we just pass. I don't feel like there's any reason to do much of anything. It might be like an end step Dress Down to cycle. Well, I don't think you want to cut Vamp. Like, I think Vamp is pretty broken. But I always cut Mystical against a Pyroblast control deck for sure. Like, there's no way they play an Arcanist this turn anyways. If they hit a land drop, they'll just play Preordain. Probe. Huh? They hit the island. They're not even going to play the Preordain? I guess they want to hold up encounters. Interesting. Oh, they're going to play the Dreadhorde? So they're just going to hold open double force? That can't be right? Huh. How do I want to deal with this? I want to Dress Down now so I can have like multiple spells they have to counter or something. But that does let them like double Preordain on the next turn, unless they have to counter 2 things. Yeah, I'm just going to let this resolve. I'm going to end step a Dress Down and look to try to do a bunch of stuff on this turns. Just feels like a good a time as any. Do I want to Brainstorm now as using good mana? It's just not good, though. I want to be able to, like, maybe get rid of this Jet and find more plays. Not a great draw, obviously. Time Walk's a great draw, though. I think we just start with Time Walk and make them force it if they want. No. So now the question is... I mean, I'm going to Brainstorm. I think it's better than, like, Jet Lorien here. Okay. So... I didn't hit... Oh, like a Fluster, right? But they have to force Karn. Pitch probably Dak. Can I... If I keep... If I keep Monolith, Karn, Jet, can I play... Can I play Lorien and Monolith and Karn? I don't think I can. I can keep Jet and play Karn, but then if I go to my next turn and play Monolith, I can't get Lorien. So that doesn't work. So maybe my play is just put back Monolith, Lorien, and play top. Then I play Karn, it gets forced, and I'm like in a little bit of trouble. A lot of trouble, I should say. If I play Karn this turn off of Jet Lotus, and I go to my next turn, I don't have double blue to play Lorien. Am I wrong? Oh no, I have Jet to play Lorien with. Okay, I am wrong. Okay, so top Monolith, Jet, Karn, Monolith, Lorien, make them use all their things. Yeah, I mean, I like this a lot. I guess maybe they could just not counter Lorien, right? I assume this is Force Pitch Dak, and then I assume Lorien is Force Pitch Preordain. But I guess they could just not Force Pitch Preordain Lorien, because it's a lot less impactful than this Karn right now. I'd be highly surprised if they let Karn resolve, but it does look like Karn is the bait. It's more that Karn is just the thing I can play. Karn fishing Preordain. Okay. I guess they have Probe to flashback, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, this game looks pretty lost, but you never know. Opponent hit the island the turn they needed to hit the island, basically. All right, so my opponent has Dreadhorde Arcanist, Probe, Pyroblast, and I have a top coming off with good mana. It's not that bad. It's not bad. It's not that bad, but like it's still not good. I mean, this is exactly how like a blue-red Pyroblast matchup goes versus a mono-bluish PO deck, right? Like this is the reason why PO was suppressed back when PO was one of the stronger decks. They hit Preordain off the first probe. That is brutal. That is brutal. Yeah, I mean, on-color Ruby, Moxen, stuff like that. Bottom off of the Preordain, but they get another Preordain next turn anyways. Wasteland doesn't matter. We know we're drawing top this turn. Oh, we're dead. Oh, we're so dead. Honestly, we played this game out pretty well for knowing how bad our opponents or how good our opponent's hand was versus us. Like I think we just needed to dodge the opponent drawing the island for a few more turns. That was like the real problem in this game, is opponent hit an island on the first draw, right? Time walk, sure. Well, they're out of cantrips right now if they just keep missing. Oh, come on. All right, we're going to go to game 3. Classic Dreadhorde Arcanist deck. I didn't realize they were a Dreadhorde Arcanist deck. I still don't think I want Soul Guide Lantern or anything like that. I think this is fine. I thought we actually were in a spot where we might have been able to recover that game. Like, they have a Pyroblast. We're fetching new cards. They had bricked kind of on their cantrips. But Ancestral is the single best card to hit, so. All right, our hand consists of a Citadel, Time Walk, Dress Down, Repeal, Force. I mean, I think this is a keep. I don't really like mulliganing on the play against the control deck, and this hand has a lot of cantrips in it. Do I want a Time Walk? Not really. Don't think this Time Walk is particularly good. If I had, like, pieces to maybe go for a Tinker, then I probably would, but I'm looking to, like, repeal or dress down on end step here and try to cantrip my way. Another Ruby hand? Okay. I'm just going to repeal the ruby. My opponent wants to counter that. That's fine. Nice. Okay. Do need to draw more mana, though. This is the worst card of all time. Why did I register this card? All right. It's just a classic Justin draw. Citadel Tendrils. The 2 cards I don't want to draw in my entire deck. I think we're losing this game by a significant margin as well. These are just not the kind of hands that win the matchup versus Pyroblast deck. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I should have probably forced it, but I think that's fine. They're tapped out. Like, if I draw Tinker now, it's my time. I guess I can't draw Tinker because I have a Citadel. If I draw Black Lotus now, it's my time. I've already used all my cantrips. Yeah, I don't know. I have to draw exactly Black Lotus, right? Or Demonic Tutor. This is like a pretty good window, though. Black Lotus is a sick draw because it's Citadel with Flusterstorm back up. Can't draw PO anymore, though. I'll have to draw another Dress Down or Dismember before I draw PO. Like, I could have forced this whole Breacher. I just don't think that's how I'm going to win the game. So I think it's better to just ignore it and try to find a way through. Thoughtseize. I swear every time I draw a card that is one of these black cards, it's just a cry moment. Can I concede if I look at this hand? Oh. Why am I have to play against this deck? This deck doesn't beat anyone in the format but me. It's doomed. It is extremely doomed. I just can't. There's just no way. I have to fluster the Bifrost. I just can't win. There's just no, like, I can take a force and then I'm losing to fluster. If I maybe they just don't cast Bifrost this turn. I guess I just take force. I mean, then I'm just getting negated, so that doesn't really help me. I guess I could take Cruise. So far from Cruise, though. The problem is if I take Bifrost, then I'm just leaving them with Force Fluster. How am I ever beating Force Fluster? I'm not beating any of this. No, taking something with Force in the name makes no sense because it just leaves them with another Force. Taking a Force does actually nothing. We just did not draw the right cards. Like, maybe I'm supposed to mulligan the hand that has... This is like kind of a greedy play from my opponent. I guess no, it's not because there's a whole breacher. I was say, like, if I had a PO in response, but I can't have a PO in response, so there's a whole breacher. I mean, I guess I can have a PO in response, and it's not even that bad. Just save my things. But now my opponent has force, and I don't have force. So how am I, like, this doesn't do anything. Yep. I don't know. Maybe I need to mulligan a hand that has Citadel. But, like, drawing the Tendrils was the losing point in this game, for sure. There was just no way forward after that. just too far down in cards that matter. But like again, my opponent's deck is what? There's a young pyromancer. It's mostly just like cards that beat me, right? It's like 4 force of will, 4 negation, 4 hull breacher, 4 fluster, 4 pyro, like kind of a relic of the past. I guess my deck is also kind of a relic of the past, to be honest. Yup, PO. It's doomed. But this matchup is probably the worst we've faced of all day. Because I should be happy we got that game won. Kind of a brutal showing, but this is like a prime example of why I'm not playing PO in paper these days. It's just not good enough. The deck is just not good enough to be played. I mean, if they force, they still have lethal. All right, yeah, okay, awesome. Yeah, I mean, PO is just not good. What can I say? Rough way to go. We were, what, 3-1 at some point in this game? 3-0? We were 3-0 and then dropped 3 straight. Yeah. Okay, here we go. 7th and final round of this vintage challenge. Let's see what we can do with this very nice. If we top deck a land, we have the old vamp into Tinker with Fluster backup. Thoughtseize. Certainly an interesting one. I guess I should have led Jet as my second spell and cast Thoughtseize. Jet as my first spell and cast Thoughtseize as my second spell to play around Mindbreak Trap. Because I'd rather be able to hold open Fluster. Is this going to be Doomsday again? Okay, I mean, you want a Fluster? You got a Fluster. I'm not going to Fluster back here. I'm more interested in, like, trying to protect my spell. Getting a Fluster is good, especially if my plan is to try to Tinker here. I'll have to see what opponent decides to do, though. 4 cards in hand go. I think I like Vamp Ancestral. I think vamping Tinker is a little too ambitious. I'm just going to go on their upkeep, though. I don't want to let them use mana on my turn or anything like that. Obviously, I can't Fluster back, but I can't get flustered here. If they want to counter this, I think it's okay with us. Maybe if they like hard tap it out for a negation, I'll force back with Fishing Lorien or something. Don't think I do need to advance my game plan here, but I don't need to play into their cards too much. Is this going to be Vamp and then Fluster? That's pretty brutal if that's the case. They chose not to Vamp on end step as well. Wow. Vamp and then Brainstorm. Should I force Brainstorm? The card they Vamp for is almost certainly a counterspell, right? I'm going to force this Brainstorm. Wonder if they'll end up fetching it away. Yo. No, they drew it. Hopefully it's not Ancestral. Mana Vault. All right. If we assume that they picked up a Flusterstorm of their own, we should probably not play this PO now. Instead, we should look to do a PO on their turn. On upkeep before they can cast spells. Not the best PO. But we do have hardcast Citadel if they have nothing. Like, if they went Doomsday with Fluster back up there, it was pretty bad. All right. So, notably, Flusterstorm does not counter Bolus's Citadel. Do you think like obviously there were a bunch of play mistakes in this set. Oh, I guess I had to play my land to get my 3rd black mana. Obviously, there was a bunch of play mistakes in this set, but do you feel like The deck underperformed. Do you think I drew badly? Like, I did draw a lot of Citadels, but that's kind of part of playing Tinker. I guess I technically could Hercules myself instead of playing this fetch land to make triple black. That might have been better. They had Force, pitching Oracle. All right. Do you have Fluster too? Maybe they took Fluster off the Vampire. Maybe they took Force off the Vampiric Shooter and it wasn't Flusterstorm. No, they have Flusterstorm too. Okay, so my opponent has 0 cards. We have 0 cards, but infinite mana here. I'm gonna hold the Hercules in case I top deck Tendrils, because Tendrils would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Almost lethal. There's like no reason for me to pay for any of this because they have 3, right? Okay. I might just pay so this thing goes away and I can F6. I guess I have to know through every single one of these. And then they just pay. All right, I got nothing. They got nothing. Who wins, chat? Doomsday with no cards or PO with no cards but full mana? They top deck Doomsday? They top deck Necropod. Come on, like, tell me this isn't classic Justin. I got my opponent to vamp for a counterspell, and I still got outvalued. Just can't win, man. Draw attendees. Nope. No, you see, my opponent draws, top deck draw 10. I simply draw Force of Will. A turn after they draw 10. Like, I feel like I played this game pretty well, put up a nice spot, resolved an Ancestral, and then it just is completely doesn't matter, right? Like, when I play well and I lose, or when I play badly and I lose, it's like, yeah, okay, I mean, I played badly. But when I, like, play really well, put myself in a great spot, and then die anyways. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of on me, right? I registered this terrible deck. I just keep thinking it's going to be good, and I get that, like, glimpse of hope, and then it all comes crashing down. Pain, suffering. Why can't I top deck the lethal spell off the top? Why is it gotta be you? Why can't it be me? What were we doing in this matchup? We were doing strip mine for Hercules. Call it a day. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I kind of like the way that game went, and it just didn't work out for us, right? All right, let's try again. I'm sure game two will go better than that. Okay. Okay. Yes. I agree. Ancestral Recall in my opening hand. I am down. I feel like I haven't had that many openers with Ancestral. No, I mean, I lost the one game where I went for it and died, right? Force? Force? Fort! Justin! It's fine. I'll top deck Tinker. Everything's fine. I'll top deck Tinker. It's fine. What can I do, man? What can I do? Ready? Upkeep Ancestral. I should probably fetch before my opponent like opposition agents me or something. The clear line was concede before the game started, so I didn't have to take this mental damage, emotional damage. Emotional damage. Any Tinkas? Probe Force? Yeah, I guess I'll take Probe Force fetch. Negation Dark Ritual Flusterstorm. Wow, I'm glad I didn't want to try to win the game. That would have been bad. Uh-oh. What does this mean? Is this dying? No. That's right. You better. Like I said, I think I just don't want to get opposition agented. I'd rather just get these fetches out. Obviously, it makes my Sensei's top decks worse, but I think that's okay. I'm definitely not winning this game at the moment, for what it's worth. My opponent just cast like Force, go. No problem. We know they have a Doomsday in hand because they Dark Ritualed. Just like double Force Doomsday with Force. Crazy. All right, all right. Any Coroners? Negators? Negation pitching will. So they have Flusterstorm backup. Okay, you got it. Ready? Black Lotus, Doomsday, Flusterstorm. My body's ready. I do think it's a time we officially Just sold the POs on my account so that I can never register this card again. I think it's time for that to happen. All right, so they're gonna cast Doomsday next turn, maybe. Jewel is terrible. I'm not playing Jewel. Thoughtseize. I guess I'll go to 10. What's a couple life points between friends? All right, what do I even do? Take Doomsday. If I take Flusterstorm and let them Doomsday, do I beat Doomsday with Forced Dress Down? I don't feel like I do. Take Doomsday. Surprised I didn't Demonic for Doomsday. Just keep doing it. Hopeful, huh? Well, maybe I'll just die to my Mana Vault. Like, never draw a 4th mana. Die. That'd be exciting. Just another Doomsday. So if I force this, they fluster back. That leaves them with Demonic Consultation plus their cards in hand, and I have a Dress Down. No, it's fine. Do it. It's the same thing as last time. Do I let the Doomsday resolve with this exact hand? Because I know my opponent has Fluster, Demonic, Consultation. Consultation is basically dead now. So it's just my opponent has a Doomsday with no card draw plus Flusterstorm. I have Force, Dress Down, and a top deck, and some mana. See, this is the exact opposite of the game we lost to Andreas. Because Andreas, in the game we lost to Andreas, they just cast cantrips, like 20 cantrips, right? And in this game, my opponent casts no cantrips and just has all forces in Doomsday, right? Completely different kind of game. Like, I would be really rewarded for the same play pattern I took in the game I lost to Andreas with how I played in that game if I had it, like, in this game. So, like, yeah, like, Andreas cast, like, 10 cantrips, right? And this player passed 1 cantrip. I probably need to draw a blue card. That does significantly enhance my chances of winning this game. Maybe I'm supposed to hold that in hand. I don't want to get, like, Flusterstormed, but... Alright, so, I mean, they can't resolve something through... So if I force this, and they Flusterstorm, I can just pay, right? I could go and look at their cards and what's in their yard or whatever, or what's in their exile or whatever. They run 2 Shield Dreads, wow. I think I have 4 Dress Downs in my deck. Alright, I mean, I'm just gonna force Pitching Force. I think having a Dress Down is better than having 2 forces. If they fluster, I pay. It's fine. All right, go to my next turn. We're still almost dying to this Mana Vault, for what it's worth. If I was still like 5-0, I would, you know, count the cards and figure out exactly what's in my opponent's pile. But I'm just gonna do it by instinct here. Pio. They still have Fluster. All right. Well, I have to pass. The good news is, I guess I should count oracles at least. All right, there are 2 oracles. They have a duress. That's so bad for me. I couldn't even cast PO anyway. I didn't have enough mana. Okay, you got it. Duress. I think this means they have like Oracle, and they currently have me beat. Oh, they took the Duress down. Sicko. I think we lose this game. That's exciting. Just terrible. Maybe we were never going to untap this vault and die. Opponent just had to sit there and wait for our vault to kill us. So this is Oracle with 2 cards. And then they have second Oracle, and then they have like Doomsday Rebuy or something. Yeah, I mean, we lose unless we draw a Dress Down immediately. Because I can't even PO kill them because they still have Flusterstorm. Wow. And I was like, I can't even like draw mana and PO kill them because they have Flusterstorm still. That's wild. Wait, let's say they don't have... Nothing helps me here. They just have Oracle number 2 next. And we lose. Wow. Yeah, I mean, sure. Why not? Maybe there was something I could have done better. We were actually on just never untap Manifold and die. A+. Great. This was a terrible 3-4. It was worse 3-4 because it got our hopes up. It was just like win, win, win. GG's Bart. All right, my final conclusion is I need to delete every PO deck out of my system here. It is just so bad. It just doesn't function as a unit if I just don't draw enough Moxen, and drawing Moxen is not a thing you can just count on every game. It just doesn't feel like it's the same power level as everyone else is doing. It flops on itself too many times. You have to keep like subpar hands because you're versing a deck that has too much interaction. You randomly pair into Pyroblast. So even I played against 0 Oath today, right? No, I played against 1 Oath deck. I was expecting to play against Oath. I didn't hit Oath. I didn't even really play against Urza Saga either. I kind of played against like kind of a weird subset of the metagame, to be honest. We had what, two Nico decks, two Doomsday, and 2 Pyroblast. Though to be fair, I am pairing against 2 Doomsday deck with 4 Dress Down in my deck. You would think it would be pretty reasonable, but no, I think we lost both matchups to Doomsday. So yeah, I think this deck it's time for this deck to be scrapped, which is unfortunate because it's my best deck. More vintage content Monday, Wednesday, Friday. See you then.